Bro, let me tell you about a man who made hundreds of millions of dollars and somehow still ended up taking out a $10 million emergency loan just to save his own houses from foreclosure. This isn't a fictional story. This isn't a movie plot. This is Johnny Depp, Captain Jack Sparrow himself, one of the most iconic actors to ever touch Hollywood. And his financial story is honestly one of the most jaw-dropping cautionary tales in modern history. So let's break this down, because there are real lessons buried inside this chaos. First, let's understand what we're actually talking about here, because the numbers need to land properly. At the peak of his career, Johnny Depp's net worth was estimated at $650 million. And that's not some made-up figure. That came straight from his own former business manager. $650 million. That's not rich. That's generational wealth. That's buy an island, never work again, set your grandchildren up money. We're talking about the kind of number where even if you never touched another movie set, you and your kids' kids would be completely fine. Forever. And the income was real. Depp reportedly earned $300 million in total just for the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, 5 films. He was paid $68 million to play the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland. He even got $16 million for being dropped from Fantastic Beasts after filming just one scene. One scene. $16 million. So the question isn't whether this man had money. The question is, how do you start with $650 million and end up scrambling? Here's where it gets wild. And bro, I need you to actually sit with these numbers because they're almost hard to believe. According to legal filings, Depp spent $75 million purchasing and decorating 14 residences. He spent $18 million buying and renovating a 150-foot yacht. He spent $3 million on the funeral of his idol, author Hunter S. Thompson, shooting his ashes out of a cannon. He employed 40 full-time staff members, costing $300,000 per month. And he spent $30,000 per month on wine alone. $30,000 every month on wine. And when someone called him out on it, you know what Depp said? It's my money. If I want to buy 15,000 cotton balls a day, it's my thing. And you know what? That energy, that's the mindset that ruins people. Because the dangerous thing about being rich is that you start to feel like the money is infinite. Like it literally cannot run out. And so you stop treating it like a resource and start treating it like a personality. Reports allege that Depp was spending around $2 million per month on various expenses, including $200,000 per month on private planes alone. $200,000 a month just to fly around. Not including the 14 houses, not including the yacht, not including the staff, just the planes. And here's the thing people don't realize. When you're at that level of wealth, everyone around you benefits from you spending. Your staff needs you to spend. Your managers take percentages of deals, so bigger spending means bigger visibility. Your entourage, your assistants, your personal chefs, nobody in that circle was going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, maybe slow down. Because your excess is their income. That's the trap most people never see coming. You build a lifestyle so big that it employs people and now you feel responsible for all of them too. The machine keeps demanding fuel and you keep feeding it because stopping feels like letting everyone down. And the thing is, nobody stopped him. Or rather, the people who were supposed to stop him either couldn't, wouldn't, or were allegedly making money off the chaos.
This is the part of the story that nobody really talks about enough, because it goes deeper than just rich guys spent too much. Depp's former business managers, the management group, TMG, were responsible for overseeing his finances from 1999 all the way to 2016. 17 years. These were the people handling his empire. In January 2017, Depp filed a $25 million lawsuit against TMG, accusing the firm of taking $28 million in unauthorized contingent fees, repeatedly failing to file or pay his taxes on time, not keeping proper financial records, and loaning nearly $10 million of his money to third parties without his permission. Let that sink in. His own team, the people he paid to protect his money, allegedly wasn't even filing his taxes on time. We're not talking about a guy who forgot to read the fine print on a contract. We're talking about years of alleged financial mismanagement while Depp was out there trusting them completely. TMG fired back with a countersuit, painting a portrait of an out-of-control movie star, spending $30,000 a month on wine, and facing a financial situation they claimed they repeatedly warned him about. Their lawyers sought a court declaration that Depp is responsible for his own financial waste. So here's what you've got. Depp says his team robbed him, his team says he ignored every warning and burned the money himself. And the truth? Probably somewhere in the middle, which is exactly how these situations work. Because here's the real lesson. When you completely disconnect yourself from your own finances and hand it all to someone with zero oversight, you're not being smart. You're being a target. It doesn't matter how much you trust someone. If you're not watching your own money, you don't actually have control of your money. The possible catalyst for the lawsuit was a multi-million-dollar bridge loan TMG allegedly made to Depp in 2012, stepping in as he faced default on a $5 million loan. When he defaulted, TMG initiated foreclosure proceedings on 2 of his homes in the Hollywood Hills. This guy, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, defaulted on a $5 million loan. That's not a math problem. That's a cash flow problem disguised as a wealth problem. Because having assets and having actual liquid money are 2 completely different things. Now layer on top of all of that the lawsuits. Because the spending didn't just drain the money. The lawsuits came in and started taking whatever was left. The divorce from Amber Heard in 2016 alone triggered a $7 million settlement. Then Depp filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Heard. Then Heard countersued him for $100 million. His 2020 libel lawsuit against the Sun newspaper in the UK, which had called him a wife-beater, ended in a loss that destroyed his career momentum. He was subsequently dropped from the Fantastic Beasts franchise. He lost roles. He lost endorsements. He lost income streams that were supposed to keep funding the lifestyle. And this is the part nobody tells you about wealth destruction. It's never just one thing. It's always a cascade. You spend too much, then you trust the wrong people, then the personal life falls apart, then the lawsuits start, then the reputation takes a hit, then the income drops. And suddenly, all those expenses that seem manageable when you were making $60 million a year, they're catastrophic when the work dries up. Meanwhile, Depp's legal woes continued to mount, getting sued by former bodyguards over unpaid wages and exposure to illegal substances on set, and reports of an on-set altercation during the filming of Labyrinth. Every new lawsuit means new legal fees. And legal fees in Hollywood cases at this level? We're talking millions per case. Not in total, per case.
Here's the moment that really tells you how serious it got. Depp had to take out a $10 million loan from City National Bank just to save 2 of his West Hollywood properties. The smaller of the 2 houses had already gone into foreclosure. His second house went into default for $5 million in 2018. A man who earned $300 million from one film franchise whose houses were going into foreclosure because the money was gone. Not all of it, but enough that liquid cash was a problem. He had real estate. He had art. He had assets all over the world. But when you can't pay your bills because everything is tied up or gone or buried in legal fees, you're functionally broke, regardless of what's technically on paper. As of 2024, Depp's net worth is estimated at around $150 million, which sounds like a lot, and it is, compared to the average person. But compared to where he started, $650 million, and that's a $500 million loss, $500 million. Gone. All right, so why does any of this matter? Because Johnny Depp isn't actually the point. Johnny Depp is the example of a pattern that repeats itself over and over with athletes, artists, actors, and entrepreneurs who hit it big fast.
Earning $60 million a year means nothing if you're spending $2 million a month and not building anything that compounds. Wealth is what you keep and grow, not what you earn. Nobody wakes up one day and decides to be reckless. It happens gradually. You upgrade the car, then the house. Then you need staff for the house. Then you need a plane because the schedule is too complex. Then the plane needs a crew, and each step feels justified in the moment. By the time you realize the expenses have outpaced everything, you're already 3 years deep into a hole. Depp's capricious behavior and poor decision-making placed him in a serious financial bind. But the people he trusted to manage it weren't keeping proper records or filing his taxes. That's a two-sided failure. You can't hand someone your entire financial life and disappear. You have to stay involved. You have to ask questions. You have to see the numbers yourself regularly, even if you hate it. Not just because of settlements, but because of the time, the energy, the reputation damage, and the ongoing legal fees that stack up while you're fighting. Every dollar spent in court is a dollar not invested, not growing, not working for you. When Depp lost his UK libel case and was dropped from Fantastic Beasts, his income pipeline took a direct hit. The spending didn't stop. The income did. That gap is where fortunes die. Johnny Depp is still worth an estimated $150 million. He's rebuilding. He won $10.35 million in damages in the 2022 defamation trial against Amber Heard, which helped restore his reputation and gave him some financial footing back. But the $500 million that evaporated? That's not coming back, and it didn't have to go. This is how millionaires go broke, bro. Not in one dramatic moment. In 1,000 small decisions, a handful of massive blind spots, and the dangerous belief that the money will always be there. It won't. Not if you don't protect it. The same energy you used to build it, you have to use that same energy to keep it. Because making money and keeping money are two completely different skill sets. And most people only ever learn one of them. Don't be Captain Jack Sparrow. Build the ship and actually guard it. If this hit different, if you're sitting there thinking about your own money habits, your own blind spots, your own financial gain, then this page is exactly where you need to be. Drop a follow because I break down real stories like this every single week. Not theory, not textbook finance. Real people, real numbers, real collapses, and the actual lessons you can take from them before it's too late for you. And if you know someone who's out here spending like the money will never stop, share this with them right now, not tomorrow, now. Because the best time to learn this lesson is before you need it. Comment below, what's the one money habit you think ruins most people? I read every single one. Let's talk about it. And if you want more breakdowns like this, celebrities, athletes, entrepreneurs who built empires and lost them, smash that like button so the algorithm knows to push this to more people who actually need to hear it. See you in the next